let's talk about 5 buys that you should be purchasing right now that will be shelf-stable food and non-food items that I literally buy every month. Every month I'm making these purchases. And this July 2023, you need to make these purchases too. Now, the value of each one of these we'll discuss and the reasons I'm buying them every month. But this is something that you need to look at, because not only is it going to help you with your prepping, sustainable life, it's going to also help you secure the independence. And that's a pretty big deal when we talk about July 4th and the Independence Day that's coming up in our country. We want to protect our liberty and our freedom, and these 5 things could really help you get out of a bind. Let's jump into it. Today's video is going to be going. It starts right now. Hey guys, welcome to the Max. Thank you so much for being here today. If you're new to the Max, go down here, press subscribe, ring the bell, give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down, but that's okay. Let us know what you think about this video. Now, the whole point of this video is to tell you what I'm purchasing every month. It never goes without purchase every month. Now, I know we're on budgets and I know money is tighter. Actually, it came out that we're in a more impoverished state as America and as a populace than we've ever been. It also shows what inflation, what interest, and what life is costing us nowadays and how we're always on a budget. So you need to be on a budget, but if you have some extra income to put towards some things, some of these things are very economical and you need to start making those purchases. If you buy it over time and you patiently make decisions that could help you buy these things, I honestly believe you're going to see independence in a little bit different way, and you're going to be able to protect your family better. Let's jump into this list of 5 things. All right, number 1, the first thing that I'm purchasing with any extra cash, and this is one thing that I do every month, is I'm buying precious metals. Now, that's a big statement. I know people are like, I can't spend and buy an ounce of gold. I'm not telling you to buy an ounce of gold. I'm telling you to buy silver. I'm telling you to buy smaller amounts of gold. Just this week, we had a gentleman call us because he knows I love to buy any kind of precious metals, as long as it's real or as long as it has a value to it. He had a few older pieces of silver, what we call junk silver from the 1800s. He also had some early 1900s gold. Both of those things were smaller amounts. They were not full ounces. The silver was, but the gold was not. It was a 1/10 ounce of Asian gold. It was a 1/10 ounce of Austrian gold. So anyways, he had it. And to be honest with you, he said, look, I don't really like gold, especially things like the circulation gold, because it's 90% gold, 90% silver. It's not full pure gold, pure silver. But he said, I'll sell it to you for a little bit less than spot. Well, spot means what the meltdown or the value of the gold and silver are at that time. So I was able to pick these things up for way less than probably what they bring on the open market. I could take them right now and sell them on eBay and make money and turn a profit, but I'm not doing that. Because why? This holds value. This will never rot. This will never grow old. BRICS nations are wanting to hurt the dollar. We know that. Do I believe in BRICS nations? Not really. However, they're making a big push to get rid of the dollar. A lot of their currency is still digitized currency, things that we don't want. But one thing they are doing is buying a lot of gold. So there could be a gold-backed currency coming back across the world, even if it's not dealing with the dollar. Another thing is the Fed is buying a lot of gold. Some of the bigger players in America are buying gold. So why are they buying gold? Why are they buying silver? You never know. It may turn around that no matter what happens to the dollar, gold and silver and precious metals, having a true money again, may be pretty valuable in the future. So every month I am buying precious metals. I had a lady that called me and said, hey, I want to purchase some gold and silver with you. She was able to pick up silver rounds, 99.9% pure silver for $28 a piece. She bought 5 or 6. Another lady bought 10. So you can still buy these at a pretty good price. You can pick these up in trusted places, trusted exchanges, or online. But silver rounds are a good investment to purchase because it holds its value and it's only going to go up. $20-something is not a lot of money. Push the coffee away, push the fast food away, budget, and start buying some precious metals. Every month, you need to be purchasing some precious metals. Now, say you want to save up for gold and you just say, I can't make one purchase of gold this month. You put in an envelope system, you put that cash or you put that money in your safe and let it add up over 6 months, then make a gold purchase. Gold and silver is a good investment because Bitcoin, crypto and Bitcoin are getting looked upon by the government, and I believe you're going to see some major pushes against it. Even though I still have some crypto, even though I still have some Bitcoin, you're going to see more push against that in our society. Also, cash, the way it is, everything is so volatile. Gold, to me, again, is the standard that's been around for 5,000 years. Why in the world do we want to change it now? Start picking up precious metals. I'm making these purchases every month. Number 2, I'm making every month. In July, you need to start doing it. I'm purchasing ammo. Now, I want to purchase ammo for the rounds that I have for my self-defense tools. If I'm looking at 223 or 9 or whatever my rounds are for my common everyday carry, I want to make sure that I'm purchasing as much as I can. There's been a major push against having self-defense tools. All across the world, we see destabilization in nations. Look at France. And those cultures are not able to have any firearms or self-defense tools. Do they need them or not? I don't know. I'm just saying it might be wise to start making these purchases now. So I'm going to read this quote. Thomas Jefferson said, "What country can preserve its liberties if their rulers are not warned from time to time that their people preserve the spirit of resistance?" And the sad thing is we're seeing more and more and more push down of freedoms and liberties here in America. You're starting to see major unrest in our cities already. It's going to bring more policies in and more regulations in those areas. Again, across the world, places like France, more destabilized areas. And so you're going to see a push against self-defense tools and self-defense items. Start purchasing every month. Just a box or two. I mean, you can buy a box of 9 for literally 10 to 12, 14 bucks. Now, I'd challenge you to buy more than that, but I'm saying if you can say, okay, I've got one self-defense tool, I want to make sure that I'm buying 50 rounds every month. That's not a big purchase. That's $12 to $15 a month. Again, that's 2 coffees or 2 number ones at Burger King. Start making a purchase of ammo. It is so important. And if you put it up, I have a video on how I stock my ammo and how I put it up for long hauls. It will last forever, especially if you put it up in the ammo cases that it needs. Every month, I'm making this purchase. Number 3 is food. Now, food is something we talk about all the time, but what kind of foods are we making purchases on? Just this week, we were able to kill 2 steer and process them and put them up. So I bought meat, and of course we don't buy, we have it here on farm, but I challenge you to buy from a local farmer. This is a perfect time to buy because you're gonna see the market go up in influx and cost more by year end. The Fed's already come out and said they're gonna have 2 more rate increases probably by year end. So it means everything is gonna go up. Also, the maneuvering of product. You're starting to see major shipping container problems and problems with overseas freight. There's a story on Zero Hedge this week about how they're having major dilemmas of cost and the freight and getting people to work and getting those ships from port to port. So a lot of the maneuvering of items and food, all that will be slowed down. It also came out this week that most grocery stores are going to see a major price increase for the year end. Now, does that mean food and the cost of goods are going up? Maybe. Or it may just be the fact that they're going to take advantage of the speculation and start raising prices. So if we see places like Aldi, Walmart, Publix, Whole Foods, and all these places start going up in price, that means your food price will go up. So you need to learn how to put up a bulk size amount of meat. Or things like honey. Right now, honey flow for most farmers like me that raise honeybees, we're starting to see a lot of our honey flow come in right now. Well, a lot of people, if they have old fall honey and they're selling it, like a local bee farmer. I have a friend that's a local bee farmer and he has about 60 hives. He has tons and tons and tons of extra honey, even from last year. So now he's got the flow coming in this year. So he is going to be selling 5-gallon totes of last year's honey. Now, if you're not local, you can't buy from him. But what I mean is, if you find a local bee apiary, you'd be surprised that you can start buying honey and maybe buying in bulk right now because the honey flow is coming into the hives. Now, the bee population's down, so the best time to buy honey is right now because ultimately, as we see pollinators struggling, you're going to see the cost of honey go up. And again, honey is something that will last forever. Long as it's sealed, long as it has no kind of water or mold or any kind of, dirty spoon or anything get to it, honey will last forever. So number 3 would be food, and I would target towards things for your pantry that last forever, such as your honey, such as ways to preserve meat and buy it in bulk, and understanding how to put that up. Food is freedom. Food is independence. Start putting some food up. Another challenge for you is right now there's a sale going on for most every company when it comes to freeze-dried foods. Look at places like My Patriot Supply below. Look at Legacy Foods below. Those kind of places are having good sales right now, and you need to start picking up freeze-dried foods. If the cost of goods is going up by year end because of shipping and because of grocery stores going up, don't you think every aspect of food is going up? So if you buy these Forever Foods, they're there, they're on the shelf, and you're going to have a lot more independence. I'm buying food every week. I'm buying food, but also I have tons of gardens growing. Food can not only be bartered, food could be currency. Food is our lifeline. You have to have food. Buy it every month. Stockpile up and add to your prepper's pantry, and especially these Forever Foods like honey. Number 4 thing I buy every month. This is kind of a trick one, but I want to make sure I'm playing on my words right. I'm actually buying more principal, more equity in what I already own. What does that mean? I am literally trying to do all I can to buy stuff that I personally need and I see as an asset. So on my farm, I don't have consumer debt, so I don't have debt that I'm having to overpay. But if you have an automobile or you have some debt that is based in your home, like your home or your cars, maybe a shop, maybe a mower. If you have debt on you right now, first of all, quit spending money and start paying down your debts. Take extra money every month and nail down your debts. Cut the credit cards up and build an asset pool at your home, meaning investing in yourself. So if you need something on your farm, or you need something at your house, or you need to start paying off something, maybe you need to get rid of debt by selling some of these things, and that way you can use your money somewhere else. Number 4 would be spending money on you, yourself, your assets. Putting more of your principal and your equity back into your home. Putting more of your value, your money, back into the things you have debt on. If you have debt, you are a slave to whoever is holding that debt. Now, I know we get in the conversation of, well, you always have taxes, so you never really own it. That's a whole nother discussion. I think tax is a robbery from the government. It's a complete, utter robbery, such as property tax. But that will be a video for another day. Right now, you need to get out of debt, because if you own your property, you own the real estate, you own the assets, you own the cars, you own the antique cars, you own the shops on your property, you own whatever it is, that means you have value, because then you can turn around and sell it if you ever had to, just if you get in a pickle. Having more property, having more goods, having more equity, having more principal of whatever you own, it's always going to give you better value than just leaving your money in the bank. If you leave your money in the bank and you owe 5% to 6% on a debt, so you're losing money because of inflation. So say inflation's at 4%, 3, 4, 5% right now, you're losing money on your money sitting in the bank. You're not getting any money off of it because the savings account and the checking accounts are not paying you any money, and then you owe 5 to 6% of interest on the debt that you have. So you're actually losing, 7, 8, 9, 10% each and every month. So now it's time to look at your extra money, keep a little bit in savings, but start investing back into what you own, your assets, and get out of debt. Number 5 is resources. Invest in resources. Now, I know all these things are resources, but what I mean by that is written resources like books. Books is a very good one. Our goal is to not depend digitally on everything we need. So every month we are literally purchasing books. We're purchasing guides. We're purchasing anything and everything that we can learn about foraging, about herbs, about survival, maybe about how we're farming. For instance, we started downloading and picking up information of aquaponics because that's something that we've really dove into lately. Misty is foraging a lot, so we're picking up a lot on foraging. Before this, a few years ago, we kind of got in our tangent of learning dairy cows better, learning beef cows better, not just off our computer, so we started picking up a lot of books on rotational grazing and understanding that. For instance, wisdom seeking and more guidance, and again, we're Christians, so we look at everything as what can we learn from what's going on right now. I just picked up the book from John Lovell, The Warrior Poet Way. It's from the Warrior Poet Society and John Lovell, and he wrote a book about just faith and being a man, so I picked that up. So it's resources, things that can give value back to you, doesn't depend on anything digitally. We see people are using AI to change a lot about digital versions of books. So if I can start picking up resources and books and making my own library and picking up things that could be resources to me, even if I have to download them before it gets changed, I would rather have the older copies, the better quality copies, such as old canning books, the ways over years and years and years it's always been done. Maybe it's butchering books, maybe it's charcuterie, maybe it's curing. I started picking up a lot of this so I can have my own resource library without having to depend on my phone or on the computer. So I'm doing this monthly and say, okay, this book could benefit me this week, or it could be something that you just enjoy as a hobby to read. One thing literature does is it gives us knowledge, wisdom, and it can be thought-provoking as well. So I'm not telling you to go buy like a trilogy and a novel, but I'm telling you to buy things that can benefit you. So every month, we're buying something that could benefit us when it comes to reading and literature, because one day we may not have everything digitally to look over. One day we may not know what to do with what happens with this event, or how I can look at foraging different, or how I can look at this crop's different. I need those resources. So every month I'm making those purchases. So quick recap, we're buying precious metals every month. Don't tell me it's too expensive. If you can't buy an ounce of gold every month, that's okay. That's $2,000. Not a lot of people can do that. But I am buying something like silver or smaller amounts of gold every month. Then I'm also buying ammo, I'm buying brass, I'm buying things that could be valuable, that hold value forever. These two things don't go bad. They could be bartered if they ever had to be, but also they can take care of your wealth or take care of your finances to hedge against inflation, or to have the self-defense items, or to at least keep people in check, especially as we think of Independence Day tomorrow. So we need to have that. Number 3, food. We've talked about food, buying those forever foods such as freeze-dried foods, honey, bulk meats, putting those up because the supply chain is failing. Look at the studies showing the problems and the dilemmas that they're having with shipping and freight right now. It's astronomical, and it's going to make a huge impact. 4th is you have to invest in yourself, making sure you're putting money in your own assets, your own home, your own farm, getting out of debt. Number 4 is one of those things that you have to almost bank on yourself. Put your cash back into yourself. Now, not buying things for yourself, but putting in things you already owe money on. If you owe on your house, you own your loans, you owe on your car, you owe on the lawnmower, which is stupid. But if you owe on those things, you need to get those things paid off, because you are always a slave to the lender. And if you're a slave to them, then they are controlling you at every aspect and every turn. And number 5 is literature. Understanding value in buying books. Understand the value of building your own resources through literature. If things get changed, such as history, if we change our history books, doesn't change the fact that history did not change. It means the way we look at history changed. So the value of having older books, having resources, having more information about the past and what we can learn from the past helps us not make the same mistakes, but also helps us have wisdom and knowledge for the future. Do not allow people to change the history. And if we have the resources from yesteryears, then we can learn, we can pick up, we can have knowledge, we can have value, we can have wisdom. Every month, I'm buying these 5 things. If you're purchasing these 5 things each and every month, or you're making changes for your life, such as maybe instead of buying food this month, you're buying seeds. Maybe you're not buying the gold, you just pick up some old silver. And again, that's things that you can pick up literally for just dollars. But you're putting it up and keeping it safe. Our goals are always to take care of ourselves, and having freedoms and liberties is important. So start making these purchases every month. If you can't, then take one a month and do it for the whole year. You start adding these things up year over year. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about this video. God bless. Happy homesteading, y'all.